shelf.
Please help me welcome to the stage the film team for Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Daryl McCormick. Rian Johnson. Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much.
So I'm going to ask first about Mr. Benoit Blanc. This feels like the first time we've actually seen him genuinely uncomfortable with the circumstances of the murder, and having it to do with the tension between the logic that he relies upon and the apparent miraculous nature of the murder. Can you and Daniel talk a bit about what it means to have Blanc evolve throughout the series and why it was so important in this film to kind of set him back on his heels a bit from the beginning?
Yeah, you want me to take that?
Please.
Well, and Robin, thank you again, and guys, thank you so much again for being here. I think, again, like I said when I introed the movie, one of the kind of inspirations for this was Chesterton's Father Brown Mysteries, and part of the thing that he does in that's so amazing is he, I think it's a really great kind of peanut butter and chocolate fit, sort of the notions of human grace and fallibility and all of those things in the murder mystery genre. I think if you kind of take both those elements of those seriously and put them together, they can be special. Blanc, I don't think it's not like his compass ever wavers in terms of there being a miracle here, but the thing he learns from Judd ends up being something much more important to him, I think, which is the notion of doing something, an act of grace for the person that he usually would be nailing, I guess.
I'm just kind of speechless. This reception is just like...
If you want.
No. It's Josh.
Ryan, you've spoken about casting your films like putting together dinner parties, so I want to ask what the process was for all of you coming to the project. How did you establish the rapport? What did you bring to the potluck? Answer it however you wish.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, Ryan sent me the script, and I was a big fan of the first two movies. And I knew Daniel a little bit via Luca Guadagnino. And very good. And I read it very quickly and loved particularly this idea of two priests who believe in the same God but have completely two polar opposite views of that God. One is a loving God and a forgiving God, and one is a sort of fearful, hateful Josh Brolin God. And so it's a really very quick decision for me.
Well, when I got the phone call, it was like, something out of heaven. I never thought of myself in one of the Knives Out movies, and I was so thrilled to be included, and then to hear about everyone else who was in it. We just became this wonderful, ensemble company. And we kept each other company through the whole shoot. Always in our tent, wherever we were, laughing and sleeping and reading and getting to know each other. It's one of the great gifts to have such an intense experience with people that you know will be your dear friends for the rest of your life. That's
So basically what Glenn is saying is it was an orgy. Thank you.
Heard it here first.
Oh God. Really, Josh? The question was, oh yeah, I think I put myself in this movie. I met with Ryan and he didn't offer me anything, but I instead offered up myself to be in the movie. And he goes, I think you should read the script. And I'm like, nope, I don't need to, I'll do it. And he's like, you should read it. And I'm like, okay. And then I read it and I'm like, I really want to be in it. And that's kind of how it happened. This has been a dream, like an absolute dream to work with everybody. And one of the greatest productions I've ever been on. And probably will ever be on, so thank you, Ryan.
I remember the enticing offer being, if you want to come to this party, you're going to play a really sad dad. I'm like, all right, well. I love the idea, because I love Ryan, and I love these movies, and it's kind of like winning the lottery. I feel like, you don't get opportunities like this to come work with some of the most tremendous talents out here, and I find it a great honor and a great blessing to be here. For sure.
You have to know that we had not seen this movie until you saw it right now. So we're kind of all in shock and we're thrilled, and so
It's so funny as you say that, because one of the things I felt in that scene, I got so emotional in that moment when Josh was holding you, Glenn, and when you looked up and said, you're good at this. And I think one of the reasons is because we all felt like that every day watching each other, right? Like we would watch somebody, you get called to be on a team of like all-stars, and you just sit there and watch each other breathe life into these incredibly written characters, and we were constantly in awe of each other and inspiring each other and goofing off to try to mess each other up, and it just was such a delight. So I agree, you get the call from Ryan, and also, Daniel's such a phenomenal leader. He's obviously the through line of all these films, and the opportunity to work, to be part of Daniel's legacy is so fun and so extraordinary. But you know that anybody who signs up to do this movie is signing up to be in a company of actors. That an ensemble production means we're gonna share the weight, and we're gonna share the spotlight, and we're gonna share in this play together. And so there was just so much generosity within the company and real genuine love. And it's so fun to watch it with you all, because it feels like you all had maybe a tiny bit as much fun watching it as we had making it.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes when you have, the process doesn't necessarily equal the product, or it's, sometimes you have a great time doing something and the product doesn't match the fun time that we have, but it really isn't PR speak. I hope you're picking up. We had an absolute ball together, and to be able to watch it, I think it's a symbol of Ryan's generosity and sense of cinema and theatricality. That he said, no, I want you guys to watch it with you guys, and to watch it here in this beautiful theater is just such an honor, and it was such an honor to be part of this team. So thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm still in shock after seeing that. That was a wild ride. I mean, thank you so much, Ryan, for being part of this. Is what it's about. I mean, big swing and a freaking home run. That was awesome.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe, I'm part of this, Ryan. Honestly, I remember my agent told me that Rian Johnson wants to meet with you for his next Knives Out movie, and I was like, the one with all the A-listers. So I'm just in awe of everyone here. I've been in awe of Ryan's work, and it's just a pleasure to be part of this, so yeah, thank you.
I'm going to be really honest and say that I've never even come close to solving any of these mysteries before the big reveal. Is that a difficult needle to thread when you want to devise something that's hard enough so that people don't figure it out, but not so impossible that it's distracting people from the story, or feels like a cheat when you reveal it at the end? How do you strike that balance?
Yeah, I think first of all, and this is something kind of from the first movie, is just remembering that even though it seems like a whodunit, it seems like a puzzle, it's a movie and it needs to work as a roller coaster ride, not as a crossword puzzle. And I think if you're focused on the audience trying to figure it out, then I think that's going to get boring really quick. So it's all about the characters. It's all about actual story as opposed to breadcrumbs and clues. And in that way, hopefully, and I think the best mystery, when I was growing up, I think the best mystery writers that I read were onto this, the notion that it's kind of a myth that you should be able to solve like a great Agatha Christie thing. And I think she knows that. I think the reality is she's keeping you hooked with a great story, and the ending needs to be satisfying the way a great ending in any type of narrative is. Otherwise, it's like, oh, he did, okay. But if it can actually punch you in the gut, then you really got something. That's what you aim for.
You spoke a little bit in the introduction about the location for this film being different than Glass Onion, which was a kind of vacation mystery. But what comes first? Do you come up with a location, and in this case a very gothic one where it looks like not out of place from a Hammer production even, for some of the cemetery pieces? And does that inform the plot and the mystery, or does it ever change the narrative or the shape of the characters?
It kind of all forms at once. It's a mess. It's just like all these things coming together, and so the tone kind of. I remember after the London premiere of Glass Onion, Daniel and I sitting down, and just the one thing we knew is it would be fun to kind of do something with a darker tone and something a little more grounded next time. We had a blast making Glass Onion, and it was exactly what we wanted to make. But I think just because. With the third movie kind of showing the range of these movies are really going to have their own identity with each one. And I grew up very, very religious. I'm not religious anymore. I have a lot of complicated feelings about it, and it's something I wanted to kind of work into it and write about. So that ended up leaning in a certain direction, and it all kind of, I don't know, it all just rolls down the hill, and hopefully you have a script at the end of it.
Now that you've all seen the film for the first time, is there a scene that stands out that came together in a way differently than you expected, or kind of a favorite moment that involved you, perhaps, as a character?
That's one thing I was thinking to talking about this movie is that I read the script at least 4 times before I could start to understand the intricacy of the story. So I hope that you'll see it at least 3 more times. But yeah, I guess my surprise, I suppose, was how kind of emotional our moment was at the end as she's dying. You know, because it's so different in tone from kind of almost the rest of the movie. But as we were doing it, it just, you know, that's what you do, right? And it was so, to do it with you was so special and amazing. And what I love is that she dies and then he says, shit.
I wanted to say something about this man here. You know, putting this many stars into one film is literally the definition of herding cats. Logistically, it's a nightmare, and this is the man that puts it together and leads us.
Ryan, I'm always impressed how you make this still the most fun you've ever had at the movies. We're so grateful you keep bringing these films back to Toronto. We can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much.